The United Nations mission in Libya is hopeful that the country is on the path of peace, prosperity and stability. The head of the UN mission in Libya, Martin Kobler, says the UN is encouraged by renewed Libyan efforts to overcome the political deadlock in the country. But despite those gains, Kobler believes no political process can continue without addressing the issue of armed groups and proliferation of weapons.
No political process can continue without addressing the issue of armed groups and the proliferation of weapons. While some of these groups are nominally controlled by state institutions, too many are driven by narrow interests. The ongoing formation of the Presidential Guard is a step in the right direction. However, the Presidential Guard is no substitute for a unified Libyan army. It is a transitional measure. The Presidential Guard must be integrated once a consensus on the command structure of a future united Libyan army is reached. There is no alternative to a sustainable Libyan-owned political solution, and the Libyan political agreement still provides a viable framework for resolving differences and restoring the democratic transition. I'm hopeful that with bold decisions and actions, we will witness a political breakthrough that can place Libya back on the path of peace, prosperity and stability. The people of Libya deserve it.
Plans to return the body of longtime Congolese opposition leader Etienne Tshisekedi to Kinshasa for grand national funeral have run into problems in a dispute over burial arrangements. The Congolese government had promised to let his casket lie in state in parliament and offered to pay for former colleagues to travel to Brussels to collect his body, but Mr. Tshisekedi's Union for Democracy and Social Progress Party has rejected the proposal and issued its own demands. It says the government should agree to build a mausoleum for Mr. Tshisekedi in the heart of Kinshasa and also demand that funeral costs be paid by a future government whose formation has been agreed but is yet to take office. The government has responded to the UDP's demands, saying the mausoleum may be possible, but not in the city center. And in Tanzania, the Defense Minister Hussein Mwinyi says he intends to push for compensation from Berlin for alleged atrocities committed in the colonial era. According to him, the government would seek compensation for tens of thousands of people who were allegedly starved, tortured or killed by German soldiers as they tried to put down rebellions between 1905 and 1907. Germany ruled Tanzania, which was known as Tanganyika, from 1890 to 1919. He adds that the compensations would benefit those who lost their lives and, of course, some surviving victims of the war. Germany is yet to make any comment on the issue. Ghana's President Uhuru Kenyatta has warned people involved in food distribution not to enrich themselves. He made those comments as the government declared that the drought affecting 23 of the country's 47 counties was a national disaster. He said, quote, "I will not tolerate anybody who would try to take advantage of this situation to defraud public funds. Let all investigative agencies, including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, get involved in the activities being undertaken during this period. I don't want the government to be accused of taking advantage of this situation." End of quote. His warning comes as the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies say more than 11 million people in Kenya, Ethiopia and Somalia face severe hunger and in urgent need of humanitarian assistance because of the drought. Now back here in Nigeria, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Bola Tinubu, and the former national chairman of the APC, Chief Bisi Akande, are visiting President Muhammadu Buhari in the United Kingdom. The photograph of the visit by the two leaders to the presidents was posted on the Twitter handle of the president himself. The president's media advisor, Mr. Femi Adesina, in an earlier statement, insists that the president is on holiday and is having what he calls a routine medical test. On Thursday, the presidency tweeted two photos of the 74-year-old president meeting two visiting Nigerian politicians in an apparent attempt to dispel rumors about his ailing health. A program launched in 2010 to promote the orange flesh sweet potato in Ghana is taking root. Residents in the country's Volta region say the crop has helped to improve their lives and general economy. Researchers say the tuber is lucrative and nutritious and is more resilient to extreme weather patterns like drought and flooding.
Julius Dorsey is harvesting sweet potatoes from his 2-acre farm in a town in Ghana. Dorsey has been cultivating the crop for the last 4 years. He is part of a program in the region that is promoting consumption of a variety known as orange-fleshed sweet potato. The farmer says he is happy with his harvest. The tuber takes only 3 months to mature, and in a good year, Dorsey makes about $4,500.
90 days exactly is mature to harvest. And once 90 days to mature to harvest, we are going to set the vine and the root. It's a big difference.
Sweet potatoes require few inputs, less labor compared to other foods like maize. They are also hardy and more tolerant to harsh conditions like dry spells and poor soils, according to the International Potato Center, an agriculture research organization. Sweet potatoes can also stay in the soil long after maturity, making the time of harvest less critical.
The Eastern and the Southern Africans are using sweet potato more than West Africans. And so that's why we need more promotional activities, and the crop appear not to be so much aware, or so much many people are not aware of the potential of the crop, and we need to do more public awareness program, because it has been with us, for me, since childhood, and I met other people and they also said since childhood. It has been with us for so long a time, but we didn't know the potential of the crop as a healthy crop because of the vitamin A content until recently.
Farmers and entrepreneurs have been investing in the crop since the program was introduced by the government and its partners. They have also found ways to sell value-added products made from sweet potatoes. Apart from being rich in carbohydrates, sweet potatoes also contain vitamins, zinc and iron, making them highly nutritious. Researchers in Ghana have set a target to reach about 500,000 households with sweet potatoes by 2020.
Well, what we would like to do is to make the orange flesh sweet potato widely available, so that it's something that people know about, something that people know is nutritious, something that people value, and that it becomes part of people's diets. And the way we think you can do that is we have to take a multi-pronged approach, but what we want to do is make it profitable, so that the market demands it, so that people will be interested, the farmers will be interested in growing it, and then it will also be present for people to eat in their houses and to contribute to combating malnutrition.
With changing weather patterns, farmers are being encouraged to take up alternative crops like sweet potatoes that are not only resilient, productive and nutritious, but also offer better returns.